If you want to, you can stop it and, or just walk by actually. Hey there, it's me, Gazbot, and I'm back for another of Gazbot's Toy Shots. That's right, Gazbot's Toy Shots, the show where I show you the shots of toys that are shot. What? I don't know. I'm shooting video of me and talking about the shots that I have picked up. What shots? Toy shots. What kind of toy shots? Shots like this. What is this? Well, this is Boba Fett, but it's not Boba Fett. This is first appearance Boba Fett. Now, for those of you that don't know, the very first appearance of Boba Fett was as an animated character. You can see him back here. This was his appearance in the holiday special, the not Christmas special, but the holiday special that is unofficially available, although anyone that's a Star Wars fan has probably seen it, as a bootleg at this point. And one of the highlights of the special, which is pretty terrible, is an animated short in the middle, which has the original voice actors like Luke and Han doing their parts, and introduces this character of Boba Fett, who is quite different from the Boba Fett we see in Empire Strikes Back and later on. Not just visually, but the character is a bit different too. And this version got a figure treatment a couple years ago. I had always kind of wanted to pick it up, but I missed it at retail, and I never wanted to pay like super high prices for it because I have a few Boba Fetts. It's not an essential part of my collection, but I thought it'd be cool. And this is from the line, this is a line I liked a lot that came out a couple years ago that did a lot of side characters, a lot of expanded universe, a lot of weird versions of characters that did exist within the universe. They weren't completely made up, but they just weren't common ones, things like this. And you can see it comes with a gold coin. And so it was just from a line I really enjoyed, and I recently picked up a few from this line that I had missed. This one I got from Variant Comics down in, I think it was Morgan Hill. It's southern to me. I live in the Bay Area of California, and it was about an hour south of me. I went with the big dog. He has a good relationship with that guy Hector, and Hector's a nice guy, and I went down there and I got this. I want to say I paid $5 for it. I think that's because I think they were about $8, but we bought a bunch of stuff and he cut us a deal, and he's good like that, so, which is pretty much exactly what I wanted to pay for him. A lot of times it's not so much what a thing is worth, it's what it's worth to you. And this could be a $50 figure, but if I'm not willing to pay more than $10, then it's not worth $50. And it goes the other way too. I've bought things for more than most people probably would because it's something I really wanted. This I got for exactly the price I wanted. It was a fair deal. I was pretty happy with it. I'm on the fence about whether or not I'll open it because I like the packaging. It has a recolored version of him and everything. I'm gonna hang it on the wall at least for a while, even though I typically do open my toys. This one is gonna be on the wall for a little bit. So, more Star Wars? Yes, more Star Wars. What do we got? Well, we got, boom. We have Finn, but specifically it's FN 2187 or 2187. This is his first appearance in The Force Awakens as we saw him as a Stormtrooper. So it's similar to the Luke and Han in Stormtrooper outfit, except if you look at his helmet, it's got 3 stripes of blood from when his friend or, co-Stormtrooper wiped it onto his helmet. Now, this is the second version of Finn. They have the jacketed version, which I don't have. I like this version better, although the jacketed version I've seen on Amazon for as low as $9 or $10. So I might get that anyway because, as I've said before, $9 for a 6-inch Black Series is pretty good, especially a main character. This has a slightly different head sculpt. He's a little bit more serious than the other version. And essentially when you put the helmet on, he becomes a First Order Stormtrooper. But the blood on it is a nice touch to give it a little extra something. He is, at this point, uncommon. At one point, he was rare and hard to get. And this is in January, February. We are in April of 2016. So right now, he's a bit uncommon. The hard-to-get figures are Kanan, Ahsoka, Luke, Django to a certain extent. He was the one that used to be hard to get that now I've seen once or twice. The big dog picked him up for me, which was nice of him, got me for retail. So I'm pretty happy with him. My FN 2187, played by John Boyega. There's also a theory, I don't think it's been substantiated, but there's a theory that the blood on here is to match the scars he got on his face in an earlier movie he did, Attack the Block, the actor, not the character, obviously. And J.J. Abrams liked that movie, so it's kind of thought that that's an homage to that, but that's unsubstantiated. Do you want me to mention that you said it?
That's my theory. It's not thought, it's...
Do you want me to say it that way?
Yeah, sure.
That theory was primarily issued by my wife, Quellen Gretzky. She has now given her due credit. Anyway, the next figure I got is another Star Wars figure. La 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 la! Chewie, we're home. That's right, it's, for lack of a better term, old Han Solo. I don't like calling him that, but it's kind of, he's not the young version, it's not the medium version, it's the older version. It's the veteran version, it's the experienced version, it's the wizened version, it's the Force Awakens versions of Han Solo, Harrison Ford. I'm pretty happy with this likeness. I was gonna get it regardless, but the likenesses in the Hasbro figures are not always amazing, but they did a pretty good job. The only thing I think is that his hair could have been a little bit more gray and a little less brown, because it was sort of, grayer in the movie, but the actual sculpt looks like an older Harrison Ford, which is better than, Carrie Fisher on that Bausch figure. I was talking about things like that. He's a pretty good version of this version of the character. Makes me excited to get the older Luke, hopefully, and the older Princess Leia. or I should say General Leia at this point. He also is in now the uncommon category of rarity. He used to be super hard to get. Now, because the new wave is out and they've re-released a few of these, he's more uncommon. Once again, the same time I got the Finn, this was picked up by the big dog for me, so I paid retail for both, which is about $20, again, depending where you buy it. So I'm pretty happy with both of these, and this is going towards fulfilling my base set of all the main characters of Force Awakens in the 6-inch scale. So funny enough, I still don't have a Rey because originally I wasn't going to collect these, and now that I am, Rey is no longer in stores, so I hope I'm not stuck in a situation where I want a Rey and I'm going to have to pay more than retail, but whatever. Actually, my real hope is that the Rey they have out is the one from Jakku with her staff and with BB-8, but I prefer the outfit at the end of the movie where she has like sort of gray, and this is a spoiler, she has her lightsaber, and that is the version I'd rather have. So if that one comes out, I won't have to worry about getting the earlier one, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, is that it? No, I have one more thing to show you, not Star Wars related. This is a sad day. I'm gonna go ahead and cut to footage of Gazbot on the scene of the accident. Gazbot? Thanks, Gazbot. I'm here at the scene of the accident, and what has happened, if you look in this case right here, there's some Masterpiece Transformers and some Solo Chogokin and a few other things mixing around. They seem to be living in peace, but if you look closer, what has happened, the Masterpiece Rodimus Prime, Hot Rodimus as it were, this is the Japanese version now, not the American. Let's get a closer look. His arm has fallen completely off. Oh, the humanity. It's lying right on the ground. Now, eyewitnesses say that he had not ever been fully transformed, that he had been handled carefully, and that he had been placed in the case 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and not been touched since. And when a noise was heard, everyone looked up, a clatter, the arm fell right off without having been touched. The worst part is, news reports this has happened to other Rodimuses, both the American and the Japanese version, not just one arm, but the other arm is in danger of falling as well, and some have reported joints and other failures. Now, this is an expensive piece when it was released, and now it's a vintage piece, and yet still, it's a piece of garbage. So yes, a terrible tragedy here indeed, Gazbot. Back to you in the studio. Hopefully you can shed some light on this and help us out. Tragedy, tragedy. Well, can anything be done? Possibly. This is what I have. Not very exciting. This is a package I got from eBay. I'll put a link below for those that also need it. Open it up and I got this. Slide this off. All that for this little teeny dinker. What is that? Well, it's 2 replacement elbow joints, or shoulder joints, as you can see, for Rodimus. Now, they're not from Hasbro, they're not from Takara. They're a third-party manufacturer that saw a need and filled it. And from what I've read, these work pretty well. You could also get replacement joints for knees that are metal and other things that break on this figure, which up until recently was the only version in the Masterpiece scale of this character that was plagued both the American and Japanese version with problems. Now, I never transformed mine, and I try to be careful with it, but clearly it still happens. So I got these. There are no instructions how to use them. There's nothing in here. This smells terrible, by the way, too. I don't know if it's the tape or what, but it just smells horrible. I thought these were the instructions, just a piece of paper. So it was about, I think, $15. For 2 little pieces of plastic and 2 screws. I found instructions online, but it's a little bit more involved than I thought. I'm gonna have to take pieces apart. I can't just like open it up, stick it in, and go. I have to like kind of take it apart in a way that might break it, or I might have to put it back together, and I'm a little uncertain, kind of like taking apart a radio and putting all the parts back in the same way. So I got these because I wanted to have them so that I could fix it. But I'm also on the fence about selling that figure. Ironically, I was thinking about selling it before it broke because they have the new Hot Rod coming out, and I thought maybe I'll sell this and just get the Hot Rod and keep the extra money or whatever. Now it broke, and now if I do decide to sell it, I might just say, hey, look, here's the replacement parts. If you're more confident with repairing things than I am, maybe you should do it. I'm on the fence about a lot of that, but I knew that I should get these while they were available because I will need them one way or the other. So that's that. So I hate to end on a sad note, but they give me hope, and that is all that we can hope for. A New Hope, Star Wars. This was a Star Wars episode. Sure, why not? I'll close it on that. Gazbots, toy shots.